I want to start tonight with my thoughts on a racist video shared this week by President Trump depicting former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. More than a year into his second term, Donald Trump has revealed yet again there's no limit to how low he will be willing to go. This is an image no other American president would have presented to the public. In fact, it is behavior one would expect from a president of the Confederacy, not the United States. The post was so bad, even Republicans like South Carolina Senator Tim Scott had to denounce it. But I was particularly moved by the words of House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. Take a listen.
This disgusting video posted by the so-called president was done intentionally. Donald Trump and his vile, racist, and malignant behavior. This guy is an unhinged bottom feeder. President Obama and Michelle Obama are brilliant, caring, and patriotic Americans. They represent the best of this country.
Trump's post, which has now been deleted, is especially appalling coming during the opening days of Black History Month, as his administration has gone out of its way to erase and belittle the contributions African Americans have made to the nation. It is increasingly ominous that Trump should be reaching for the oldest and most odious of racist tropes as he talks of nationalizing elections in American cities with large black populations. And it is insulting he would try and blame this pathetic post on a nameless staffer, even though it came in the late hours of the evening. If someone else is responsible for this video, they should be identified and held accountable. If Trump himself made the post, he should apologize to the Obamas and make amends. But I won't be holding my breath. I'm focused on delivering a strong rebuke to Trump's vile and racist conduct at the one place that will hurt him the most, the ballot box come November. And that's where we start Politics Nation this evening. Joining me now is the governor of the state of Maryland, Wes Moore. Thank you for being
Bernice King, who is Dr. Martin Luther King's daughter, posted, you cannot unpost racism. Yes, I know they took it down, but if the president of the United States is reaching for one of the oldest, most dehumanizing racist images in history, an image that was used to justify slavery and violence and lynching and segregation, and then he pressed share, I don't care if it was up for 12 hours, anybody who's an American should want the office of the presidency to reflect basic human decency.
I also think about the kids who have seen this, both the kids who may think this is okay, and then the kids, the black kids who we do so much work as parents, Vlad, to build up our children. And then for something like this, an image that equates black people as animals is just like, it takes away from that, you know, and we're all going to keep doing the work. It's not going to change. And the president says he's condemned it, but he won't apologize. But it's really upsetting. It
is. And as I say, this is not an isolated incident, right? During the COVID-19 pandemic, he called it the Kung flu. He said that people from Haiti are eating cats and dogs. He called countries in Africa S-hold countries and said that we should have more immigrants from Norway. So, you know, the White House says that it was a mistake. You can parse that as you will, but the reality is that it was shared. It was up for 12 hours, and now millions of people have seen it.
The White House first said it was fake outrage, which was...
Right.
But anyway, they've updated their view on that. And let's see if there's accountability for the staffer.
We'll see, yeah. Well, but for that low-level staffer, for the president to say that staffer was the one who put it out there, I mean, it also calls into question who is in control of the president's social media accounts.
Congressman Massey, thank you so much for being here. I do want to ask you about that comment from the president of the United States insulting you like that at the National Prayer Breakfast. What's your response to him?
Well, first of all, I'm glad to know I'm in the president's prayers. But second of all, you know, on the internet, some people have suggested that MIT should take my degree away. And my response is, which one should they take away? I have 2 degrees from MIT. And I'm sorry you booked a moron today on your show.
Well, fair enough. I do want to talk to you about your fight to release the Epstein files in a minute. But first, I want to get your reaction to the news about how the president posted, then deleted this racist video depicting the Obama as apes. He has refused to apologize. Do you think he should apologize to the Obamas?
He should absolutely apologize. He's gone too far. I mean, he's attacked my wife recently online, and I do think there are limits. If for a while it's kind of funny, but once you pass certain guardrails, like attacking a man's spouse or getting into racist tropes, I think it's somebody at the White House, maybe Susie Wiles, needs to go to the president and just ask him for his phone and maybe ask him just to show him the tweet before he sends it out.
Yeah.
So he writes, Jonathan, you are the racist, not I. Get rid of your hate, in quotation marks. And then you can see it on the left side of your screen. Best wishes. Donald.
Wow.
Donald
Best
Trump.
wishes, right.
Best
Thank you for
wishes.
your attention to this matter.
Right.
Yes.
So anyone who's been paying attention to Donald Trump all these years isn't really surprised.
Central Park 5. I mean, you can go way back.
Way
Donald,
back.
Donald Trump refusing to rent to black tenants when he was taking over the real estate company from his father. He got sued by the federal government and had to settle and essentially admit that that's what we were doing. So no, that the racism goes way back.
And the racism also invades everything. Right? Because there's one thing for someone to be personally racist, right? Yes. For them to believe that black and brown people are beneath them. But then the question also becomes, when they're in politics, what do they do with that racist feeling, right? That racist mindset. And it appears to be, for Donald Trump, a way, not just the discrimination that you're talking about when he was renting, but also his claims of so-called reverse racism, upending the DOJ Civil Rights Division. This is from CBS earlier last month. Several former Justice Department employees said the department's focus is shifting. It will seek to protect white people against alleged, quote, reverse discrimination. Trump said civil rights protections and programs have hurt white people. I think that a lot of people were very badly treated.
Yes. So, look, what's the one class of refugees that he wants to admit to? White South Africans. Those are the only people he, for the entire world, and he doesn't want any of these people from these S-hole countries, which happen to include all of us here, right? That it is, and then Atlanta and Philadelphia, going after cities where it just so happens that a whole lot of black people have come out and voted against him in all of his elections. It's kind of it's transparent. It's been there all along, and many of us, like Jonathan, have pointed it out. Yet it has not weakened him at all with his base.
Well, what does that tell?
And in fact, one would argue it's been applauded by much of his base. And then, there are other Republicans who used to at least pay lip service to diversity, if not actually support it, who just sort of go along and pretend, oh, I didn't hear that, or I didn't get to that. This is it's shameful, but it has real impact on real people.
But Trump won 15% of black voters in 2024. Yeah. It was an 8% increase from his first administration, where he arguably also implemented and ran on a number of racist policies. But I think on Friday, a lot of people were surprised, at least journalists who have been reading the Republican tea leaves as much as possible, that so many Republicans came out against the social media posts.
Tim Scott immediately, right? The only racist thing I've seen.
I've never heard Tim Scott issue such a pointed
Let's pull up the list.
admonition of Donald Trump. Do we have that?
Yep.
And these are the House members: Tim Scott, Pete Ricketts, Roger Wicker, some of the usual suspects, but also Katie Britt, Nick LaLota, French Hill. These are people, some of whom were elected in deep red districts.
It is critically important to understand how quickly Obama has, in effect, responded by showing that significant public support is on his side, even within a deeply polarized United States. The country is extremely divided at this moment. This is a situation where, regardless of circumstances, roughly half the nation, around 40%, appears to support Trump no matter what actions he takes. Whether he is right or wrong, a sizable portion of the public remains aligned with him, reflecting an era of intense partisanship rather than one where political loyalties are fluid. About 40% of the country either identifies with MAGA or leans in that direction. Against that backdrop, the fact that so many individuals, including conservatives, are openly criticizing Trump in this instance is notable. As mentioned earlier, one of the clips referenced came from CBS. While not everyone at CBS subscribes to a single editorial line and no organization operates as a monolith, the network has, in recent months, made visible efforts to shift toward a more MAGA-aligned outlook. Despite that, figures on the network are still stating that what Trump did, or what he claims a staffer did, though it is widely understood to be Trump himself, is unacceptable. This reaction is underscored by comments from Thomas Massie, who, while not MAGA-aligned, is among the most right-wing members of Congress. He may be correct on certain issues and is ideologically one of the most conservative lawmakers, often viewed as principled in many respects. Even so, Massie, despite being one of the furthest right members of Congress, is describing the situation as insane, clearly rooted in racist tropes, and joking that someone needs to take the former president's phone away. In doing so, he is echoing what many others are saying. The response illustrates that the attack on Obama was so extreme that nearly the entire spectrum of good faith political actors has rejected it, leaving support only among the most committed MAGA loyalists.